Good day, everybody. Today we are going to be reviewing the game Inner Circle. Okay, everybody, let's go ahead and show you the components really quick. Right here you have your Inner Circle board, and you're going to be playing on this board. This little trough here is basically a place where you can store all of these pieces. You're going to be playing these pieces on this board. Now, this game comes with 4 of these lid hole tables, I guess you could say, and each one of them has a certain amount of these holes in them. And the way you're going to be playing this game is you're going to be stacking them up one on top of the other, with the one with the least amount of circles first. So pink will be first, orange will be second, blue will be third, and then yellow will be fourth. Now what you're trying to do is you're going to be trying to get your pieces onto what are called your survival spaces over here. And whenever all of these survival spaces have pieces on them, you're going to go ahead and lift the board up, and any pieces that are left on the solid parts of the board are going to be removed, and the pieces that survive will be able to move on to the next level. Now, depending on how many people are playing the game, you're going to be putting a certain amount of these pieces on the board. With a 2-player game, you're going to basically be playing with all the greens and all of the reds. And the way you're going to set them up is each player is going to place a piece on the outer edge of the first board. Now, you'll notice that each of these boards have dots on them. What these dots represent is this is going to tell you how many spaces you will be able to move each of your pieces. So if you have a piece over here where there's 3 spaces, you'll be able to go 1, 2, 3. If you have one that has 1, you'll be able to move 1 in any direction, and so on. Now, you can only move in a straight line with this game. You can't do like this. You have to go like that. Now, the other thing is, it is possible to get blocked. And the way you could get blocked is this. Let's say you had a piece over here on 2, and there was an opponent's piece here, an opponent's piece here, or even your piece that were 2 spaces away in each direction. In this case, you would not be able to move your piece. Now, the other rule is when it is your turn, you're going to be able to lift the piece up, and you're going to have to use that piece. You're not going to be allowed to peek and see how many dots is under each piece. So I'll go ahead and set the game up real quick. Okay, so we have all the pieces set up here on the outer edge of the board. And let's just say green goes first. So green decides he's going to look under here, and this has 1 dot. So green will go ahead and move his piece over here. So now red goes, and red lifts this up, and it has 1 dot. So he will be able to move into one of the survival spaces over here. So green goes again, and green looks, and this one says 4. So the only way he can go is 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So once again, red goes, and red looks, and he has 3, so he goes 1, 2, 3. Now, if you land here in the middle section over here, this is good because you will be able to actually move your piece up to 3 spaces in any direction that you choose. So let's just say he decides he's going to go ahead and move 1 space over here since he can do that. And so that's basically how the game goes. And so let's just say we have now filled up all of the survival spaces. So the next thing that's going to happen is this board is going to get lifted up like so, and all these pieces are going to be eliminated, and you will now go to the second level. Now these are the pieces that are survived, and we've got 2 more levels to go after this. So once again, play will resume. So the next player is going to go ahead and go. He lifts up, he sees 2, so he'll move over to the next survival space like so. Green goes, he sees 4, and he actually, let's see, go 1, 2, 3, 4. He actually is going to be blocked, so in that case, he's not going to be able to go. So let's say red picks 1 up, he goes 4, so he can only go 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Okay, so let's just say we have now completed this level. So once again, we're going to lift this card off, and these pieces will be eliminated, and we are now to the 3rd level. And as you can see, there's fewer holes. Let's just say we get to this point, we will lift this up, and this will be to the last level, which is right over here. And the winner of the game is going to be the person who can get his piece in the middle part here first after moving, like so. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play Inner Circle. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on the game Inner Circle. Okay, well, I kind of had a little bit of mixed feelings about this game. Here's what I like about the game. I like the components. I like the fact that you can stack the 4 boards, and I like the fact that each of the little spaces has a different movement rule on it. I like that. I like the fact that you can move them off and take them off, and then the pieces stay on the board, and you just have to continue going. I see this as a game that I would not play a lot. However, I think this game is pretty good. I kind of find, though, that it is a little bit linear. Simply because there's only certain spaces that are going to allow you to move into the survival spots. So I find myself working backwards. Like I look at the board and say, okay, I gotta go here, then I gotta go here, then I gotta go here. which is not necessarily a bad thing. If you are trying to block your opponent, if you actually try to employ that strategy as opposed to just trying to get your own pieces into the survival space, that is actually, in my opinion, going to make the game more interesting. There have been times when my wife was trying to move into a survival spot, but she wasn't able to because I had her piece blocked off. So if you actually try to employ that strategy into the game where you're trying to block them, that makes the game more interesting, in my opinion. Now, I think that it would have done Milton Bradley a really good deal to have made these boards double-sided. There's only 4 of them, or have made more boards that you could put on there. I think that would have increased the replayability substantially. One of the things I have read people talk about is, that people can tend to memorize the board. All you really have to do is just like look at the spaces that you need to get to and then just work from there. But if you don't take the game too seriously, then I think it's a pretty cool little game. I don't really look at trying to memorize the spaces. I just try to look and see where I need to go. And then at the same time, I'm just trying to find where my wife is going as well. I would say that this is a light to medium strategy game. Really, it just kind of depends on whether you're going to be trying to just get your pieces into the survival spots or if you're going to be doing that and watching what your opponent is doing to try to slow them down. It just kind of really depends on what strategy you would like to employ. I believe that this is a game that was more geared towards younger kids, teenagers kind of a deal. I've read a lot of reviews of people saying that they had very fond memories of the game as a kid, but as an adult, it really wasn't that much fun for them. Now, for me, I enjoy the game, but again, it's not a game that I see myself picking up a lot. Like, it's definitely a unique strategy game. I've not really seen any games like this. So, if you find this at a thrift store, I would definitely suggest picking it up. It's probably a game that goes for about $15 or so on eBay, and sometimes maybe a little bit less. But of course, you have to deal with the shipping charges. So anyway, guys, that is my review of Inner Circle. I hope you all have a great day. Happy gaming. We'll see you later.